Bad man out and stunting. Kyle them thick like dumpling. Girl with big body jumping. Action, ready for the thumping. Ready for the thumping. Ready for the thumping.
Bad girl step out, I'm stunting. Queen, my ties them thick like pumpkin. Look pon me, big body jumping. My money thick like.
What's up, AJ Squad? It's your girl Ariane, and I am back with another video for you guys. As you guys can tell by the title, I am bringing you guys the Haitian spaghetti recipe. It has been highly requested, so I decided to do it for you guys while I was bored and hungry. So I decided to do it for y'all. Hope you guys enjoy. Here you guys can see that I am just washing my hands very thoroughly, just getting them clean because it is important to wash your hands before you cook. Feel me, guys? Feel me? You feel me? So I decided to boil some eggs because I like my spaghetti with the boiled eggs. You guys don't really have to do these exact things that I'm doing, but if you guys do like boiled eggs with your spaghetti like I do, then go right ahead. Go right ahead. Here I am just pouring in my water into the pot or pan. I don't know, whatever you decide to call this. But yeah, I am just pouring in the water to boil my spaghetti. Here I am just adding in my Haitian épices mix. I will do a separate video for you guys to see how I prepare this. And yeah, I am also adding in some salt and some oil so that the spaghetti doesn't stick when it's gonna boil. And these are what I'm gonna use, all chopped up. So once you set that to boil, once your water starts to boil up, as you can see, you wanna take your spaghetti and, well, I like to cut them in half, break them in half, and then put them in the water to boil. That is my preference. Some people just put them as a whole in there, but I like to break them in half while I put them in there. I don't necessarily really think it's easier to manage or anything, but it's just what I grew up doing, so I stick to that method. So as you guys can see, that is what I'm gonna be doing for the next couple seconds. Here I am just going with the fork. I am just trying to separate and let the oil run through so that the spaghetti doesn't stick together as it's boiling. It is important to do this step because if you just put the spaghetti in the water like that, most likely when it's done boiling, you will get a bunch of spaghetti strands stick together, and you do not want that. So make sure as soon as you put in your spaghetti to boil, make sure you do this step so that it doesn't stick together and you don't eat clumps of spaghetti stuck together. Feel me, guys? You don't want that. After the first, I'd say 5 to 8 minutes of just letting it boil, you want to give it a little stir just to make sure it's cooking nicely, and just making sure that none of the strands are stick together or anything like that. So just as I'm doing, just run it through, just for a little while. It doesn't have to be for a long amount of time. You just do that, and yeah, pretty simple. Here my spaghetti is fully cooked. but I am just stirring it and just making sure that it is fully cooked just the right way, not undercooked or overcooked. And how I do so is just grabbing a strand and squeezing it just like so, and seeing if it is correctly or perfectly cooked, I should say. Here you guys see two different things in the sink, because I use this bowl that I'm putting underneath the drainer, so I can use the water that the spaghetti was boiled in to make my spaghetti sauce. I feel like it just more simpler that way, and it brings in just, you know, the flavor of the spaghetti, I guess. That's not really why I do it, but it's also something that I grew up doing, so I always keep that little step that same way. You guys do not have to do this. You guys can just add in like separate water or something to make your spaghetti sauce, but I find this way more usable. And usable, is that the word? I don't know. But I'm just running cold water over the spaghetti so that it doesn't overcook as it sits in the sink. I also give it just a little shake as it's running under the cold water, because it is important to make sure that it doesn't stick together, guys. So you must do that step. I am adding in just a little bit of oil because the water that the spaghetti was boiled in, I already added oil, and I already know that I'm gonna get a lot of oil from the sausage and the hot dogs that are gonna be fried. It's gonna produce a lot more oil, so I only add in just a little bit. And I am putting in my sausage and my hot dogs to fry up, and just mixing it up to make sure that they're all just sitting in the oil so they can fry out nice and evenly. Here my hot dogs and my sausages have fully fried up and they're cooked. Now I am just adding Bertolli's tomato sauce. I add this for food coloring and a little bit of flavor. I like the taste that it has. It brings out a nice natural fresh flavor from the natural herbs that it has in there. I'm just stirring that up and letting that sit for just a couple, and it looks like so. Now I am going to be adding my ingredients. I am adding Baron's hot sauce. By the way, guys, this is the best. The best and the best. I cannot stress this enough. It is very, very spicy though. So if you don't like spicy food, better slow down on this because it is hot. I'm telling you, it is hot, baby. I'm adding some garlic and salt. I'm gonna throw in some slap yo mama up in there, you know? Adding in some accent. Some paprika powder. And onion powder. I do not have any specific measurements. I'm adding parsley and some Sazón powder. This is also for more food coloring. I like to throw in some mustard because I like the little zest that it brings into my pasta. It just, you know, gives it a nice kick. I throw in 2 slices of cheese because the cheese just makes it creamy and it brings out a nice flavor as well. You do not have to add this. It is just my choice and how I like to do my pasta. So yeah. Now I add in the water that the pasta was boiled in. Mix that up. And here I am just going to be throwing in the pasta just to finish it up and add the final touches. I'm just spreading it around on the sauce. Not gonna mix it quite yet. Reason why I don't mix it quite yet is because I add in my black pepper last. Right on top, throw just a little bit in. You don't need to do too much. And you want to stir your spaghetti from the bottom up so that you make sure that everything gets in the sauce, and just make sure that it's just sitting right, you know? Yeah. Once I do that, I add in my onions and my green peppers. Now I am just mixing it up the same way that I previously said, from bottom up, and I'm just gonna let that sit for about 3 to 4 minutes. Once that is done, you just want to uncover it and you're all done. Wasn't that pretty simple, guys? It is very easy to make. It tastes really good, and I hope that you guys take the time, try out this recipe, and let me know in the comments how it turned out. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye!